Hi, my name is Alessandro Cangelosi and that's a video tutorial coming from cgcookie.com for MaxCookie. Today we'll talk about the iRay material. That's a really interesting news for 3ds Max. It was released by the NVidia Arc company branch some days or weeks ago. We have the release 1.2 and it is just for 3ds Max 2013, and it is a really interesting thing because we had in the past the Arc and Design shader for Mentoray, and now we have the iRay material. That's not the same stuff, so we are talking not about the same shader as the Arc and Design, but we are talking about a really complex and powerful shader. So that's just for iRay. It is not compatible with Mentoray, and it has a lot of powerful feature. We are talking about some stuffs like the subsurface scattering, the back scattering, the coating, the dispersion for the glass and other surface, and the translucency and the other things like the possibility to layering a lot of feature and properties for a material. Just to check the interface, you see that there it is really similar to the Arc and Design, and you see that we have the possibility to load from a preset, and we have some car paint, for example a diamond, fabric, glass, metals, leather, and rubber, water, and wax, for example. So well, a lot of things. And talking about the user interface, it is really nice done. You see we have some layering. For example, one layer is the reflective coating, and we have all the control for the reflective layer. We have the metallic flakes, so we can control it directly there. We have the basic layer that will control the basic properties for the shader. Then we have the volume properties, useful to control, you see, the dispersion, the subsurface scattering, and the color absorption. We have the anisotropy control for every single layer, so you can control it independently for every single layer. Then we have some information about the thin film for the three layers. And then we have the emission, so the self-illumination information there. And the last panel is the geometry, so we have the possibility to control also the geometry, and we are talking about the cutout properties for the opacity as the Arc and Design shader, and the displacement. And there we have also the round corner. There are some known issues actually on this release, the 1.2 that is public. And if you like to install this version, you have just to go on the forum for mental images, the NVidia Arc, and you can use these posts there, for example, and you can download from this post, and you have directly the link there, and then you have to decompress the file, and inside you'll find the 32 and the 64-bit installation. There is the PDF user manual, and you have to follow the user manual to see how to install the shader. It is really simple. You have just to move 3 files inside the right folder, and everything will be fine with it. To use it, you have just to set iRay as rendering engine from there. And you see we have also iRay as rendering engine for the material editor. That's the only way to see the shader there, because if we leave it and we go for Mentoray, you see that we have no preview. So if you don't need the preview there and you like to go really fast, you can set Mentoray there for the material editor. But if you like to see what we are doing, you need iRay set also for the material editor. And you see it is a little bit slower because it is working to update all the material using iRay. Just going back, obviously the simplest way to start using iRay material is to pick a material and trying to figure how it has been set up and make some testing. Today we'll see just an introduction to the shader, and we'll start a series of tutorials to see how to use the shader in various videos, to see how to prepare different materials and different surface. The most important thing is to remember that this shader has 3 layers. The first layer, that is over all the properties for the shader, is the reflective coating. This layer, and you see that inside the user interface you have on the top reflective coating, on the middle metallic flakes, and at the basic layer, the base layer. So the first one, the reflective coating, is a layer that will be really useful to simulate some reflection, some freshener reflection over the material. So it will be useful to simulate a lot of shader, for example plastic metals or something like that. But you can understand that it's useful to simulate all the material that has a reflective layer over. Then we have the middle layer, and we are talking about the metallic flakes, and the metallic flakes is just useful to add flakes as the metallic car paint over the surface. So there are just some metals that has these properties, and you can use the metallic flakes. The basic layer is the most important, and it gives us the possibility to control the diffuse properties for the material and also the glossy properties for the material. And you see we have also the refraction and the bump and some other stuffs. What does mean? That means that we have complete control over a lot of properties, and to see how it works we can see in a really fast way. If we select, for example, there the metallic part, and we try to do this part of this car with a metallic layer, and then we can pick there, create a new iRay material and create a glass clear and assign it there and assign it there. So now if we go to render this view using the right resolution 900/400, let's go. Let's see what happened. You see that it is converting, and you see that we have glasses there and we have the metallic paint. The first thing you can see is that the metallic paint there is really better than the basic we had in the past used with iRay. And if we change the sun position, it will be interesting to see how it will behave in different lighting condition. Let's see, for example, at 9. You see that it is really nice how it works, and that's really good. So let's stop, let's go there, and you see that for example we can use a different car paint. Let's think about, for example, the pure white. So we are talking about white car paint, and you see that it is really good. Let's close, and you have a lot of possibility to customize everything using different coloring and different preset. So it was just to introduce what we can do. We have a lot of possibility, as I said, and something more interesting is, for example, the other properties we have there to create some I will open a new scene to make some new tests. So that's a scene we done in a past tutorial, and now we see what happened, for example, if we go to change some shaders. That's the water bubbles, that's the beer. Let's pick glass. That's the glass. Let's change it with the, for example, the basic glass there, and let's see what happened using the basic value there. Let's render. And you see that actual glass is working in a different way from the simulated one than using the NVidia Arc and the sign. So you can understand that the result will be more realistic, but you have to tune up the other information you've done on your scene. Let's remove these objects, and this one too, and this one too, and this. Okay. And let's add, for example, a really simple mesh as this one. Okay. Let's go for a new iRay material. Let's assign it, and let's say that we are using the wax. Let's render it, and let's see what happened. We are using a subsurface scattering preset. Obviously we are not sure that the properties are set in the right way, but it is possible, and I see something there. We have just to be patient to wait for the final result. So actually I can stop the recording to wait the final render. Okay, that's the result. Obviously you see it's not final because it takes a little bit of time, but you see that we are simulating the subsurface scattering in a really interesting way. We have, for example, the possibility to simulate the glass dispersion, and let's see how it works if we can simulate it on this render. All we'll have to change the shape, because actually it is really smooth, but you see we have it, but I prefer to make it not smoothed, so it will be more similar to a diamond. And let's go for the smooth, and let's see, no transparency. Okay. And let's check again. You know, we are talking about a lot of new feature we have in the new iRay that ships with 3ds Max 2013, and we had no information about it before, and you see it gives us the possibility to simulate a lot of new interesting things, and it will be really useful to have more realistic looking there for 3ds Max with the new miniature images rendering engine. And that's, for example, a setup. You see that we can simulate really realistic glasses with dispersion in a really fast way, because you see it is not losing time to simulate it. So we just saw how to play with the shader, just loading some presets. Obviously we have to see how to use it, and just to introduce how to use it, you know that we have the basic layer. In the basic layer we can control the diffuse properties, and obviously with a reflection and a translucency and the glossy, and in the glossy we can simulate the reflection and the refraction, and you see we have the control for the bump map. Obviously there we have some presets loaded by the glass, but we can use also a basic iRay shader. We can assign this one, and if we go to render, we have just a simple colored stuff with not so much information, as you see. But let's go to have a smoothed version. Okay, so we have this one, and if we like to play with it as a basic shader, you know, we can go there to change the color for the material, for example, and it will change the coloring for the diffuse properties. So we'll have just a red thing, but we have reflection, and that means that there, you see, we have the reflection. So we can remove the reflection and we'll have just the basic properties. We have no metallic flakes, so now we'll have just a red shader with no reflection, no Fresnel, and nothing else. Okay, you see, we have just a red color with some glossy. Okay, let's close there, and you see that there we have one for the glossy and one for the diffuse. If we go, for example, for 0.08 there for the weight and 0.2 for the glossy, and let's render. We'll have a different result because we are treating, you see, with less glossy reflection there, talking about obviously the light reflection, so the specularity and the glossy reflection, and we have a little bit less weight for the diffuse, but we have 1.0. That's the sum for the weight for the diffuse and the weight for the glossy. So you know, obviously we have control over the color for the glossy too, and we can use also the map, so we can use bitmaps and other things. Just talking about the bitmaps, please remember that the bump works really fine with noise and other procedure, but it doesn't work really well with bitmap. You have to convert it to RGB because actually it's a limitation, but it's nothing so important actually, and you know, the plugin is still under development, so future version will have more stuffs and more things fixed. So for the moment, that's all. It was just an introduction to see just something about the iRay material, and next week we'll start a series of tutorials to create some shaders and some materials using the iRay shader, and we'll see how to create really complex surface and really complex and photorealistic results using this new plugin for 3ds Max 2013. So I hope to see you back really soon, and thanks. Bye.